What we are going to do today is we're going to do a little bit of a Premiere Pro tutorial for those who don't know how to use it. We should have Premiere Pro open and it should come up with this. Pretty simple. You can either select create new project or new project. Just pick one of the blue boxes. There are a few steps to do. Step 1, you want to name your project. I would suggest as you're going, you kind of just work your way from the top down of what you need. So you've got your project name. I'm calling mine Premiere Pro Tutorial. You move across project location. So where do you want to save it? I would suggest that you have a folder where you save everything. So if you click on it, you select choose location, pretty easy. It'll open up Finder and then you can select somewhere. Those are the main two things. Now, you can use, it's probably easiest to use the bar on the side to find the videos you want. So I'm gonna use videos that I recorded last year. So this is, I'm just gonna use these as a default. So you find the videos you want. They're obviously all gonna be saved in one location, neat and tidy and named because it's gonna make your life easier. So I'm just gonna select all these videos. And then also that's my audio file as well. So I will select that. So here's everything that I want. I've selected it. Then at the bottom right, I'm going to click create. And that will open up the timeline. When you open it, the videos that you've selected will open up in your timeline here. The layout of Premiere Pro can be a little bit overwhelming. So I would suggest you can fix it up to the way that you want. There are also default settings. I normally just use, if I go to Window, Workspaces, there's different ones. So you can do Assembly, which is, it's set up so, it's almost like there's a workflow that they've set up. So with Assembly, it has all of your files on the side, and then you can start putting them in the timeline if you want. So let's say, I'm just gonna delete all my stuff out of my timeline. So let's say I wanna put in, let's say this video, I wanna put it in, I can click it, I can drag and drop. Pretty simple, pretty self-explanatory. You wanna make sure that the settings as well of your timeline, the video quality and all of that is to what you want. Because if you were to have, say, a vertical video, it might look a little bit funny. But if you're editing for a vertical video, that's what you want. If you want to just make sure that your video settings are all okay, you go to sequence up the top, press sequence settings, and it'll come up with this box here. Main thing you want to focus on is the video. So for me, the project is set to 1920 by 1080, which is, your classic high definition setting. Sometimes when you reset the frame size, it's going to affect your videos. So let's just say I've put in a video. I'm just gonna quickly change this. When I change my video to the editing layout, there's going to be a little box up here that has a bunch of different little tabs up the top. The one that we want to be in is effect controls. Now, at the moment, I have nothing displayed, but once I click the video, it's going to come up with all these numbers. So you've got the position, the scale, the rotation. This is all just like default cropping and sizing information. Now, I'm just going to fix the scale number as an example. So let's say I've resized my video frames, but now my video looks like this. So it's when I export it, that's what it's going to export like. It's going to export with the box. So I just want to make sure that if I look at my scale, I can type in a number. So let's say I'm just going to put in 150. Oh no, that's too big. I don't want that. Something else you can do is instead of just randomly typing in numbers, if you go just to the right of the number, you'll see my little pointer has changed and it's got like 2 arrows. If I click and hold, I can then swipe to the left and swipe to the right and it'll zoom until I fit it how I want to. So For me, it's to scale, it's 100. For you, it might be 200, 150, 175. It depends on the original frame size of your video. To the left, we have a bunch of controls here. Now, you want to have a look at which one you've selected. So if you just want to have like a normal click and drag one, you want to have the selection tool, which the keyboard shortcut is also V. So with that, then you can start selecting things. If I were to watch this video, I might have a look at it. You can remove certain bits of the video. You can there are two ways. You can select the cut tool on the side, which looks like a little razor, or press C. You go along to the point of the video you want to cut. As you can see, there's like a little line that indicates where it's going to cut, and then it'll cut the video in two. So then when I click the selection tool again, by pressing V, I can then separate the two videos, drag them how I want. If you then want to delete a video, you just simply click the selection tool, click the video, press delete, and it's gone. If you want to add text, it is very simple. You click the text tool on the left of the timeline. You want to make sure you, like wherever you want it, find that point in your video. So let's say I want to put something here. When I've got the text selection tool clicked, I'll hover over the preview of the video and I'll select where I want it. So I might want to just put it underneath the presentation, and it'll come up with, it should then as well automatically on the right put up all the editing that you want to do for your text. So you can change the size, you can change the position, you can change the font. So let's say I've got my text here. It's also appeared in the timeline above the video. If you don't have this graphics section up on the right, the other place you can access your text is if you click up effect controls in the left section. You'll have all of the visible bits in your timeline appear here. So we can, if we just find the text one, so here it says text, and then it has whatever the text is. If we drop down, click the arrow and drop down the text, it'll have everything here. So to resize, you should find a number. So it's either, if you're looking on the left, it'll just be here. So if you hover over the number, it'll tell you what it is. It's the font size. So here is where we can change the size of the text. We can make it bigger, we can make it smaller. So I'm gonna put mine at whatever that is at 110. Let's say you've resized it, but it's not in the position you want. You can select the selection tool, and it's automatically put a box around the text so that I can move it to wherever I want. I can even make it bigger, make it smaller, as to however I want. Yes.
Can you make it like straight in the middle? Like, is there a button to like?
If you right click, there'll be an option that says align to video frame. So you can do it left, center, all of there. So let's put it center horizontal, center vertically. There we go. It's now exactly in the middle. So there might be easier ways to do it, but that's probably the simplest way. The only other thing that I would probably suggest if you want to play around with it is if we go down to the bottom right, at the moment we have a project selected, which is where all our files are. There should be a little arrow, which then has a bunch of different tabs. So you've got your project, media browser, libraries, info. What we want is effects. So here you'll have different folders for different effects. So it'll either be audio effects, audio transitions, video transitions, whatever. Let's say I've got this text, and at the moment, if I play it,
the media form,
it's just gonna appear. I just don't want it to pop up. I might want to add an effect where it fades in. So if I go to video transitions, probably like, let's just say I want to do a dissolve. So it'll fade in slowly. So I might find one that says cross dissolve. Easiest way to do it. You click and hold on the effect you want, and then you drag it over to whatever file in your timeline you want. So for this, for the cross dissolve, if you can see on your thing, if you put it at either the start or the end, there'll be a little box that glows. So I'm gonna put mine at the start. And now, if I zoom in a little bit, there is a little text that has appeared on top of my text box in the timeline that says cross dissolve. If I go back now to earlier in the video, it's now faded in. You can extend how long it fades in by, if you go to the edge of that cross dissolve box, you'll see like a little red bracket that comes up, and so you can extend it to make it longer or shorter, depending on how you want to do it. I think though, at the moment, I think those are probably the most basic thing. Is there anything specific that you want to know or you want to try? How do you speed up or slow down a video? Beautiful. Okay, so for now, I'm just gonna cut a section of this video. So let's say I've put in my cut, and I'm just going to, let's just move this away just so that it's out of the frame. So I've got this video here. Now let's say I want to speed it up. What I'm going to do is I'm going to select my video so that it's highlighted. I'm going to right click, and then I'm going to scroll down in the selection here until I find speed and duration. Once you click the speed up or the speed and duration setting, it'll come up with this box. Now you can do a couple things. You can either speed up the video. So let's say I want to double the speed. I can put in 200%. You can also reverse it to make it go backwards. Something to be careful of as well, when you normally speed up something, the pitch is going to change. So if you just want it to be sped up and maintain like the same pitch of the video or speaking pitch, you want to click the maintain audio pitch. So that'll just make it so that instead of it going high pitch like this, when it speeds up, it'll stay the same. Once I've pressed OK, if I can find it in my timeline, it is now, the clip is shortened, so then there's this space. A nice little trick that I like to use is, so if I have cut things and I need to join up videos, instead of selecting the video and then dragging it, yeah, it's not hard, but it's a quicker thing you can do is, if you click in the blank space between the videos, it'll come up with a white box. All you just do is press delete or backspace, and it'll move everything, including not just the video here, but it has also moved the text box. So if you say have done things in the later half of the video and you've put texts, you've put multiple videos, you've put audio files. Yeah, it'll all stay together. So instead of having to select everything then drag it, you can just click the blank space and press backspace, and it'll move everything and connect it again. Keyframes. So let's say I've got this video and I want to add in some keyframes. I might want to add in some zoom effects. So I've selected my video. If you go up into the effect controls, there is this section here. This is where your keyframes will be. So depending on what you want to do, if it is, say, let me look down here. So I want to make sure that I select, let's say I want to zoom in at a certain point. You select the video, you go to the effect controls on the left, you select whatever you want. So whether you want to move it, the zoom, the position, you click the little stopwatch to toggle animation, and then you can start adding your keyframes on the right here by pressing the keyframe button. So you do what you want, you change it, it'll either automatically add a keyframe or you can add the keyframe and then change to how you want it. If there is nothing else, I'm going to stop recording. Like and subscribe.